What's going on, Kings? Hope you guys are having a great day. Just got back from the gym again. I promise you guys that I usually dress nicer than this. I have a lot of dress clothes. I love to wear my dress clothes and everything, but I mean, I always make these videos right when I get back from the gym because I guess it's just the most convenient for me. But anyways, on to today's topic. I'm going to talk a little bit about my life before NoFap. So I discovered NoFap in 2019, I want to say, summer of 2019. But before that, I was fapping every day, multiple times a day, ever since I was like 13 or 14. But the thing is, I guess that makes me a little bit different, is that I was never really addicted to porn. When I discovered NoFap in 2019, as I said, by that point, I hadn't watched porn for years. It wasn't really an interest of mine, I guess. I mean, it wasn't really, I don't know, I just never really indulged in it. I mean, I've watched it, of course, in the past, like when I was 12 or 13, when I first discovered that kind of stuff. But after that, it's just, I don't know. I guess I just didn't really like what it was doing to my brain, even at such a young age. And so I never really got addicted to that. But what I was addicted to was the machinations of my own imagination. And it would have me fapping once a day or multiple times a day. And it's a little hard for me to talk about, actually, because I mean, it's something that I don't really talk about to many people. But yeah, I would just concoct these things in my teenage imagination at the time and just release every single day, once or twice a day, sometimes more than that. And then I would wonder to myself, I was wondering to myself, why am I feeling so drained? Why am I feeling so socially awkward around women? Why am I feeling so anxious? I didn't know about NoFap at the time, so I didn't know that semen retention would help me with that kind of stuff. I was a teenager, as were we all at one time, or some of us still are. But yeah, as I said, man, this is hard for me to talk about, but I would just keep releasing up until university, second year of university, I think, is when I discovered NoFap. But I would always ask myself, like, I would see the people around me, some of the people around me at least, and I would see how much more socially integrated they were and everything. And I would just ask myself, I'm like, why? Well, why can't I be like that? What's holding me back? And 2019, I discovered NoFap, and all of that changed. I no longer had that social anxiety. I no longer had that fear of being around others and talking to others and whatnot. Because you know what? Even though I didn't watch porn, even though it wasn't really a consistent thing in my life, all of that fapping, all of that releasing still had a negative impact on my life. It still negatively affected me. It still negatively affected my social cognition. It still negatively affected my brain, because I had a lot of brain fog back then too. My reflexes were much slower. I had a lot of brain fog back then. I didn't know that NoFap would help with all of that because I didn't know what NoFap was at the time. But once I got on NoFap, all of that got better. My cognition got better. My social skills got better. My brain power got better. My brain fog went away. And it's just been quite a journey, I'll say. But ever since 2019, it hasn't just been one straight line, I'll say that much. Because self-improvement's never a straight line. Self-improvement is always, there's lots of twists and turns. It goes up and down, up and down. But overall, by the end of the year, or whenever you want to, whichever length of time you want to use to calculate your improvement, you will be better than what you were. Let's take 2019 to 2020, for example. 2019 is when I started NoFap. And it was like this, and then this, and this. I was going through a lot in 2020, end of 2019. But by the end of 2020, I was up here. It may not have been a straight line, but it was an overall improvement nonetheless. And that's what's going to happen to you. That's what's always going to happen. You're going to slip up. You're going to relapse. There's going to be days that you don't want to do what you want to do or what you have to do. But you have to keep going. Self-improvement is not a straight line. You have to keep going. Even if you fail, even if you do something that you're not supposed to be doing, don't let that discourage you. You can't be discouraged. Just keep going. Know that by the end of the year or by the end of whichever period of time you want to measure yourself by, you are going to get better. Even when you fail, don't see it as a failure. See it as a learning opportunity, because that's what it is. When you relapse on NoFap, for example, learn from that. Assess that. Think about that and ask yourself, what made me relapse? What did I allow myself to do that caused me to relapse? Think about that deeply, and then think about how to fix it. Ask yourself, what solutions can I implement to ensure that this doesn't happen again? Now, I'll give you mine. Basically, whenever I feel that I'm going to relapse, I'll call upon the Most High. I'll call upon Jesus Christ. I'm devoutly Catholic. I will admit that. And that helps me. Whenever I feel I'm about to relapse, it reels me back in. It stops me from relapsing. Today is day 32, I believe. So this is my most recent streak. But yes, find what works for you. What works for me may not be what works for you, but find what works for you. And one of the only ways to find that is by relapsing, I guess. I'm not encouraging that, but when you relapse, I'm just saying that you have to think about it. You have to really think hard about it. You have to think about where you went wrong. But don't just do that with NoFap. Do that with every aspect of your life. Do that with everything that you feel like you are lacking in or you're failing at or whatever. Do that in every aspect of your life. Ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself, what am I doing? Well, what am I doing wrong? How can I improve this? So this was, this went along a very unrelated tangent, I guess, but still relevant to NoFap. So definitely heed my advice. But yeah, overall, to conclude, I'll say that my life has been much better ever since I discovered NoFap. And even though I've relapsed sometimes, even though I've made mistakes, even though I've gone through hard times ever since then, it's still been improvement. Now, self-improvement is a compounding effect. Remember that. Remember that when you feel like you want to quit. Remember that this is a compounding effect, that the results will compound over the years. So 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you're going to be in a much better spot than you were. That's a guarantee. As long as you get 1% better each day, that 1% each day will compound. And you will do better. That's going to be it for this one, Kings. Thanks for listening. Be well. Stay disciplined. Have a good day.